Alright, today Chica's replacing the pump on this Avanti A21 Max. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, today we're replacing the pump on this Avanti A21 Max. We had issues with it and was leaking right here. So I'm going to show you guys what was wrong with it and how we changed the pump real quick. It took about 15 minutes. Alright, so we started by putting the machine up here on the counter and putting a towel just for the mess. We plugged it in, and at this point I didn't know what was wrong with it, so I had to do a little bit of troubleshooting. We had to turn it on and it automatically started squirting water from the pump. So we turned it off and we took off the bottom here of the suction tube that's connected to the pump. So yeah, I just used a channel locks. I should have some wrenches, but this is all I had available at the moment, so we used that to take it off. It still had paint in the machine because the day before when it stopped, the guys freaked out and they just wrapped it in plastic and brought it to my garage so I could take a look at it. So I took it off, started trying to look. The first thing I looked at was the all the rubber seals that are inside the pump to make sure that they weren't ripped, and then there's one here around the bottom of the pump that rips sometimes. So started checking with those. Quickly realized that it wasn't either one of those. As soon as I cleaned off the pump, there was a big crack right down the front of it, where the thread is for the bottom part to thread on. And so quickly realized that the pump was completely useless. So I just cleaned it off, got rid of all the dirty water on it, all the paint that I'm getting all over my wife's towel that she's gonna kill me for. But yeah, after we had it, I had to do a quick run to Harbor Freight to pick up a pump. I knew we needed a new pump. So once we got back, we opened up the housing for the pump here. It's just a little Allen wrench that you need to take it off. Simple. Yeah, and then you just open up the housing, and then there's another little Allen wrench. It's a little bit bigger right here in the front. Yeah, and this is just holding the pump in there. So we loosen this up here, and it comes out pretty easy. Alright, so we got that off here and we started trying to pull the pump out. So it is in there pretty tight, you know, from the use. It tightens up, so I'm here wiggling, trying to get it out. I brought a rubber mallet so I could kind of bump it to get it out and loosen it up a little. I went ahead and unscrewed the line that's connected at the back of the pump that feeds the rest of the machine. I pulled it out and we disconnected it here, and then the pump's out right here. So pretty simple to get it taken off. After we came back with the pump, this is the new pump right here from Harbor Freight. This is about, I think, $190 is what we paid for it. We brought it, we hooked up the back line back on it, and it just comes with the pump and some piston lube that you're supposed to put on top of it, a little plastic cap that goes on it. So to get it in, you just have to adjust the top piston and kind of make sure that it's gonna fit. So if it's too low in there, you kind of have to pull it out. You have to just align it exactly so that it'll go in, is the main thing with this. And so it's not gonna fit here, so we had to take it off. And I'm just trying to make sure it's gonna slide. There's a little channel at the top of that piston has to slide right into, and it wasn't gonna reach, so we have to pull it out a little bit more. I tried hitting it from the bottom here with the rubber and thought about it again. I didn't want to damage the pump itself. So I'm trying to see if I can push it up, hit it with the rubber mallet a little bit and push it up a little. and it's not really moving, and I don't want to damage anything on the inside of the pump. Yeah, so a lot of trial and error here trying to get the piston exactly at the right height that you need it. I guess it was a little bit too high right here. Try to push it down a little. So you're just gonna play with it until you get it the right alignment. I ended up pulling out loosening it a little bit, and then pulling the piston out. Yeah, so I loosened the top, and again I'm trying to hit it from the bottom so that the piston goes up a little. Don't want to damage anything, so I made sure to use like a rubber part of the channel locks. Again, I probably should have had different tools, but that's all I had in my garage at the moment. Alright, so then we just switched to pulling it out with the channel locks, just trying to be careful and not damage the top of that piston. I just kind of started turning it a little bit and it started to come out, so we're just having to adjust it here. And then it went out a little too far, so I hit it with the rubber mallet here to kind of get it to go back in a little bit more. Alright, so yeah, just adjusting. This was probably the hardest part of the whole thing, was just getting that piston to line up exactly so it'll slide in. Alright, a little bit high still. Trial and error, guys, trial and error. Yeah, this took a little bit longer than it should have, probably. But it just has to be exact or it won't slide in there at all. Finally, almost got it. Just a couple more taps here. And then just had to turn the top of it a little bit. Alright, then we finally got it. We put it in there with the rubber mallet. We just slowly tapped it in. It went in. We turned it to face the back. And then we were able to get that feed line connected again, and just screws on. So that's all it is. Kind of had to push it from the back a little bit to get it to reach. Alright, yeah, well, once we got it in there, we got it set, we tightened it, just tightened it by hand. It's plastic, so I didn't want it, you don't want to over tighten it with anything, it'll break it. We got that on there. I forgot to lube the piston and then also put the little plastic cap back on the top, so I had to pull it out again here and put that little plastic cap that came with it. And then they also sent a little packet of lube for the piston that we had to put on the top before we slid it back. Second time around was a lot easier. It was at the exact measurement that I needed, so we just tightened it. And then we slid it back into the housing for the pump. Again, we just used a rubber mallet to get it in there, slowly and without damaging the pump. So I did have to take off the bottom line for a third time and then get it in there and tighten it. So okay, this time we got it for real. All right, and once that was in, we tightened the bottom part for the suction tube, the part that connects to that. I just hand tightened it here before I added the suction tube, and then I'll go back and retighten it with the channel locks. And the suction tube just goes inside the pump here, and then you just tighten this part down here. Alright, then we closed up the housing at the top. We tightened those and closed those off as well. Alright, once everything was tightened up, we plugged the machine back in and we had to do a test just to make sure that it's working. So got some water here, we're just going to run through it and you'll know automatically if it's working or not. Yeah, so it worked, everything was good. Yeah, and that was it. We got it running, we tried it, and it's good to go. All right, so that's how you replace the pump. Like I said, ours was left outside and it cracked completely, so we had to replace it. You can order these parts on Harbor Freight's website. The repacking kit, I think you have to call them or email them and they'll send it out to you. You can buy it like that. But the pumps, I think they're like 100 and something online. Just be careful, don't leave your sprayers out in the cold.